So welcome all to the Fashion, Beauty and Luxury Investment Conference at the Startup Club. My name is Mathilde Vade and I'm your host tonight. I am currently in Sweden for the summer, but I am French and Czech, so I have like a very international background. Just shortly about myself, I used to have my own fashion business as well. It was called Eco Fashion Labels. We had a brick and mortar store with sustainable clothing in Prague for 5 years. So I come from this industry as well. So I'm really happy to welcome you here all. I will share my contact details in the chat, and you can do the same if you want to network with the other attendees. And 1 second, I just have to open the room. I think it's okay. All right. Yes, so tonight we have 5 startups that we will discover, and I will tell a little bit more about them in a second, and I will also share the schedule in the chat. And if you want to use the chat to send private messages to the participants or to the group, that's welcome to do so. Shortly about the Startup Club, who are we? We are a one-stop shop for the global entrepreneur community, and we assist businesses in their funding round and in their growth journey by connecting on them with investors, advisors, and mentors in the startup ecosystem internationally. And we do this through a series of pitch nights and investor networking conferences. We do also other services for startups. We do pitch deck reviews, we do personalized fundraising, and we also have now an accelerator program. So if you're interested in any of these services, just reach out to us and we're happy to tell you more. Yes, so as I said, 5 companies and 4 advisors. The companies, number 1 is WIS Watch Straps with Brandon James Rose. It's crafted in Porto San Giorgio, Italy, from premium materials for comfort, durability, and style, built by enthusiasts for enthusiasts. Then the second one is called Officina Lifestyle. It's a well-known advisory company in the fashion business that aims to extend the brand management focus through full acquisition of IP assets, presented by Luca Donini. Third company is Birdy, smart and sophisticated luggage for women with Abby Listo. Number 4, Bliss Wellness and Apparel, providing fashion and wellness services designed to lift you up and keep you in an elevated state of mind with Lindsay Camps. And the 5th one is Cosmic Studios, building multi-million-dollar franchises from best-selling fantasy books similar to The Lord of the Rings, presented by Chris MacArthur and Justin Creamer. The event should run for about 2 hours. We expect to finish by about 8 p.m. The advisors are Ole Schneikart from SmartFox Ventures, Shelley Foster, Active Lab, George Cara, which is from GeorgeBlack Fashion Consultant, Kate Boyer, Success by Design. I would like to ask the advisors to shortly introduce themselves live. That would be the best. Maybe Shell, would you like to start? Hello, Shell, would you like to introduce yourself? No? Kate?
Hello, everyone. Oh, good. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Perfect.
Nice to see
Hi.
you all. Nice to see you, some familiar faces as well. My name is Kate Boyer, originally, I would say, born and raised in Budapest, Hungary, so European at heart. But I could say by the result of 3 decades of hard work, living the American dream, so based in Palm Beach as of today. I started several omni-channel consumer goods companies in luxury, fashion, beauty, spirits, and tech, and successfully scaled some of them to 8, 9 figures, some of them to 5, 6, depending on the stages where we're at. I love the beginnings. I like to build. I'm always excited to see founders who are trying to disrupt kind of sleepy industries or traditional models. And After being a founder and CEO myself for 2 decades, like yourselves, I started my own portfolio of brands, which is Success by Design today, where we look for disruptive growth brands to incubate, grow, and help them exit through my global network of relationships. So throughout the whole journey, glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Kate, and welcome. Ola, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you very much.
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ola. I've been a member and a part of the Berlin startup scene for over 15 years. My commerce background before was at L'Oreal and Zalando. And since I quit Zalando, I started 8 companies in very different sectors, from logistics to beauty to fashion to real estate. And now I work as a founder of a new project, and as well as a business angel and advisor to many companies in the ecosystem. Happy to be here and excited to hear the pitches.
Thank you so much, Ola. George, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, guys. I'm George. I have 2 decades of experience, mostly in building product development in the product itself, so production, sourcing, etc. Also, ex Zalando, Ole, hi. And yeah, and now I'm a founder of 2 companies called Global Chain Up and Studio Tech Pack.
Thank you, and welcome to our event, George. Shell, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Sorry, I'm having some internet problems. Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. There we go. Switch device. I'm Shelley Foster. Now I have 2 devices going. Sorry. There we go. I'm Shelley Foster. I'm originally from Canada, and now I go behind. We have two. Sorry, I'm just turning off the other device. There we go. I'm from Canada. I've been in the US 25 years as an entrepreneur, and now I'm also half-time based in Rome. I started my entrepreneur venture at Nike, where I was part of the New Ventures division. We bought a number of well-known brands that you'd know about. We also started a number of equipment categories. I went on from there to run the women's business at Reef Brazil, a surf company. Later Bowflex, which became Dosho when the founder left Bowflex, and we did a number of fitness products. And from there, I spun off and did my own brands. I had 8 different brands in the apparel sector, baby, kids, maternity, and fitness. I sold that collection to my factory in India about 6 years ago, and since have been really advising startups and joining teams at certain stages to really scale from 0 to 60, mostly on the product sourcing, logistics side of things. And now in the last 18 months, I've also been active angel in a number of wellness brands. So happy to be here and looking forward to the pitches today.
Thank you. Great for your great introduction. Okay, so these are our 4 advisors for tonight. And shortly about the format, it's 20 minutes per presenter. There will be a clock, a countdown. The pitch time is recommended to be maximum 8 minutes, and then 12 minutes Q&A. And so there will be a first beep after 8 minutes, and then second beep after 20 minutes, and then we move to the next presenter. We ask you to respect the times, because we have many presenters, and we can't run too much over time. Yes, I think this is it. We can go right into the first pitch now.
So first of all, nice to meet you all. Sorry for this technical issue, but sometimes it happens. I'm Luca Donnini. I'm the founder and president of Officina Lifestyle. I'm here today to introduce you the new project to create a sister company, which will be called Officina Lifestyle Investment. The new company will be focused on investing in trademarks and IPs in the fashion and lifestyle trademarks. So our model somehow is very similar to those that huge US funds are applying today. I'm referring to authentic brands, marquee brands, iconic brands, Blue Star Alliance, and so on. Of course, it's an interesting model in this moment. Those funds are today managing more than 100 billion value in trademarks. We are not big like that. We don't want to be like that. We believe that the sweet spot in a smaller company today in Europe, between 3 million and probably 20 million value of the asset. And we want to leverage the growth of the brand rather than the dilution of the brand in more value market. So we are aiming to take brands which are now probably at the 5 million revenue, and we want to bring them globally, taking the opportunity which every single brand can have in expanding their categories, markets, and of course, customer base. So we are focusing in promising brands and some heritage brand as well that are still clean, are still there. In Europe, there are so many that probably have an opportunity in this moment in the market, which is changing a lot the game. Let's go to page 4. Okay, so the management team. So here I am a senior in this business. I started in 1988. I have been many years in Max Mara, and I opened many stores of Max Mara. Probably the store of Max Mara that you see in your hometown was part of my job in the past. So I've been a top manager of Max Mara Fashion Group for several years. Then, after that, I established the headquarters of Europe of Guess Inc. It was in 2008. We managed to create a multi-category business in Europe, leveraging retail, licensing, and of course, direct production. After this period, I tried and I started to be an entrepreneur, which is something a very challenging part of the career of everybody. After being a successful top manager, to start to be an entrepreneur, and I decided to do my own company, which is Officina Lifestyle, which was incorporated 15 years ago, whose aim was to advise, support small and medium company in the fashion and retail business. The team that I have identified is Fabrizio Zappaterra has been 25 years in M&A and investment, is having worked with Lion Capital, which has done several acquisitions also in Europe. Some of the brands that they has acquired is Hunter and Temple in London. We have been partner in Temple in London also because I have invested in Temple in London, which is one, very important British bohemian brands. Then we have Martina. Martina has 10 years of financial accounting, reporting, and trustee management of fiduciary activity here in Switzerland, which is mandatory when you do investment. And Elisabetta is a senior manager in licensing. She knows all the producer and people in this business related to several categories, not just apparel, but also cosmetics and watches, whatever it is. So the team is a senior, is well established, and been working all together in other business, especially advising company. You can see here the list. Some of our clients, of course, with Max Mara, we just conclude the transaction of White and Palm Angels in an Italian company. We have been driving, Liu Zhou to the international market, especially in Asia. So this part of our know-how is to grow brands, license brands, and make them, in a certain way, international. So what we are doing is absolutely focusing in specific brands that have already reached a certain market, a certain revenue volume. We believe that the DNA of the brand is established when you achieve at least 5 million net revenue. And we evaluate the opportunity in terms of growing other category, growing other market, and of course, having probably also a segmentation. So we scout this activity, is something that we're already doing, and we take the opportunity that in this moment is a buyer market. It's a buyer market because the business somehow is changing, so valuation are getting lower and lower, and we identify the nice project that we want to invest in and we want to grow. We have an experienced leadership team, and will be the team that will manage the platform, but together a concept which is very similar to those applied by huge American funds. So any investment will be done into a specific special vehicle, which will be open also to other investors related to the brand. For instance, if you have a founder that wants to go on, then he can have a rollout, a minority, in managing the brands together with us. So that's part of a project that we believe is important, because we want to create each single special vehicle with the strength and the support of each licensing and stakeholder. But we will keep the majority in any case. The brands that we want to acquire, they must have true value, authenticity, craftsmanship, patent ownership. This is a very important point in fashion today, because there is a lot of copy and copyright issue in this moment. Sustainability, and of course a strong community that we want to grow, because every brand has to identify a consumer. That's very important. How we are going to do that? We create value, first of all, working on the D2C part, because we want to keep not only the royalties of the licensing, but also the control of the direct-to-consumer business. I do believe that e-commerce and smart retailing today are necessary to tease customer and to keep the customer longevity into the system. And in order to do that, it's important that you manage this directly. You cannot just give this to a third party, a service company, or just sell the product in platform which today are more oriented to promotion and dilution of the brands. So the secret is to combine the license, the control of the product, and the merchandise plan, which each licensee has to prepare, together with the direct-to-consumer activity, marketing, social, but not only that, also the strategy to go to market, the service, and the customer relationship. So that's a little bit the model. Okay, just some number. Okay, so we have a target of 4 brands. We can go directly to the final slides. Here we go, final slide, because here there are many information and 8 minutes are very short. So we want to acquire 4 brands. In terms of financial, we can go down is better. Okay, this is one deal that already is under closing. We have 1 brand that we expect to do the closing in November, which is a total equity funding of 6 million. 1.5 million will be a rollover from the existing shareholders, and 4.5 million will be Officina Lifestyle. And on the other side, we expect to have 4 in acquisition in 1.5 years. The idea is to invest more than 22 million euro in total. We have a second brand coming in the first half next year, which is a French heritage brand. This is an Italian premium brand. The idea is, of course, is to now do all the fundraising activity in a way that we are ready for both. And how the economy will work is that each special vehicle will collect royalty, and of course the cost will be mostly management, because it's a cash positive operation. There's no structure, there's no operation. The operation are on the licensing side. The activity mostly will be on marketing, so the other part of the investment on our side will be marketing. I think that marketing investment will be on the use of fund more than 15%, and each operation will be more or less valued around 5 million, like the one that you see here. If you go on the last page, maybe, sorry, because I cannot handle that. The last one. Yes, here we go. So the capital size is 5 million initial acquisition, 22 million of total investment for the first 4 brands that we want to acquire. We will have the controlling stake in each special vehicle. The holding company will be based here in Switzerland, and also the vehicle will be based in Switzerland, because it's the most friendly country in Europe today for legal, job law, and other things. We will combine, growth buyout and also D2C activity. We will have the opportunity to exit either facing, the opportunity M&A with other bigger funds or with the industrial group. That's a little bit in very short the project. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Luca, for the pitch. Let's move to the Q&A session, and let's start with George this time.
Hi, Luca.
Hi, George.
I've only one question. You mentioned that you already have like 4 brands that you want to acquire. When you look at the brands and besides the criteria you mentioned, so sustainability, 5 million revenue, the patent, and so on, how do you identify which brands you want besides those criteria?
Well, first of all, I'm looking at at the field. So I listen a little bit to retailer. I check the sellout of the brands, the data, if they have a like-to-like positive growth. So I look the numbers. I look their distribution, their positioning in the distribution is very important, especially today. As I say, today I prefer more an offline brand than an online brand because there is too much promotion in online business, and this is in my view, reducing the value of the brands itself. And on the other side, we look at the trends, fashion. Fashion is a cycle trends. Now it's activewear, tomorrow is going to be casual, maybe in 3 years it's going to be again elegant and evening wear. So we're looking a little bit at trends, and there are waves, and you need to learn how to surf the waves. I'm a good surfer, so I know when is the right moment to jump on it.
Okay. Yeah, but I'm asking because there's a big market in Europe, also globally, and every region has their own waves,
Yeah.
and that's why I was wondering what else you look at. Thank you for asking the question. Yeah.
Thank you, George. Shell, would you like to go next?
Sure. Can everyone hear me? Excuse me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Luca. Great platform. I've worked with a couple of these brand consolidators, M&A, mergers, investment platforms. And I actually, after trying to do one of our own before COVID in the wellness and fashion space, where we went very far down the rabbit hole in fundraising and COVID happened, I joined a group, a VC group in New York that was doing this. And I sat inside for 2 years inside Win Brands Group. Maybe you're familiar with them. They bought wellness and home brands.
Yeah.
And I have to say that their number one hurdle, and this is something that I've seen in all of these platforms, is the lack of cohesion between the brands. Because when you're adding both from the investment space, the retail space, the diversification covers you for risk if one sector, be it women's, men's, luxury, casual, doesn't go well. So that's the positive. The challenge is when you're doing the retail services, if you don't have enough overlap, you don't get enough synergy, and you don't really maximize what the platform can do, both from expertise, distribution, logistics, sourcing, all the other things that these platforms can really offer to brands, which is, I found, the key to get the existing investors to prefer you versus staying in-house independent, is that you're going to offer this synergy. So you're going to cut a lot of the headaches and improve the margins and increase the distribution. And I've found that wave just flows a lot easier if there's significant synergy on both the target of the brand, the sector of the brand, the distribution of the brand, as well as the region of the brand. I'd say that the last platform I worked with like this, we bought brands in UK, Australia, and the US. And so you were bringing Australia brands to the US, UK brands to the US. Everything worked coming to the US. But if the existing opportunity meant that you had to scale a brand in Europe, for example, and you didn't have any brand that already had that infrastructure, then that was a total module setup and a huge expense again. So just making sure that from the infrastructure, distribution, synergy side, not just from the, okay, who are we selling to and are we selling garments or shoes? But where's that synergy? And I think that will really help both from the profitability of the platform as well as convincing, I think your first money comes from those existing investors that are in low performing small brands that want to convert into your platform versus staying in a small brand.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you make a very good point. I think that first of all, synergy are relevant, but are relevant mostly today in marketing and digital, in terms of team, in terms of strategy, in terms of artificial intelligence. Whatever you're doing today is amazing, and it's important you build up there. And I tell you, the cost is much smaller than before, much smaller. I mean, probably we're talking 1/10 of before. The other important things is the region. I honestly avoid United States. United States is value, period. And it's not for me. I'm a brand builder. I love margin. I love to have good execution, value. And that's why I love Europe, Asia, and all the rest.
Yeah, definitely. If you're not doing consumer volume brands, the US is definitely a race to the bottom, and most of luxury is done in the discount channel. So brands that work well there. The one thing that I have run into is that Europe obviously is just the growth opportunity there, right? So you're really looking at how to go from there to Asia, because that kind of seems to be the hook as far as the growth is volume.
There are many interesting American brands. Honestly, I love also American brands. Unfortunately, their channel are, complicated. Department store are not paying. The biggest account you said before, Costco. I've been working for the brands that the first collection, the first licensing, the first things they did in the United States is a capsule for Costco. That's why I was so upset and saying, no, that's not the way. So build a brand is something that, of course, is require a lot of effort, a lot of experience, a lot of know-how. And I agree with you, it's not an easy job and you need a good team. But on the other side is the rewarding because you really build there the value.
Yep. So yeah, good luck to you.
Thank you.
And hope to have some brands that I'm working with interface with you.
Yeah, happy to do that.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, Shell. Ola, would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. Luca, great to meet you. Great to hear about your business here. It sounds like you've been doing this a few times. I'm wondering a bit why you say, if I understood you correctly, that you are aiming at buying controlling stakes in the brands and not just the IP rights. Is that correct?
No. The control is in the special vehicle where the brand sits. Because every brand needs to have a dedicated special vehicle for many reasons, including if you want to exit just one brand, you can do it. It's easier. But also because I want the stakeholder of that specific brand, licensee or whatever, retailer, to co-invest in that specific vehicle.
Okay.
Because it's create more teamwork around the brands.
That explains it. I was wondering how to manage that, especially if your portfolio grows a bit. That would be impossible for your small team. Well, it sounds interesting. So how exactly do you roll out the brands in the international markets? Do you have a playbook there?
Yeah, of course. I mean, first of all, I have a good network of distributor, agent, whatever, commercial. But I do believe that today the most important vehicle is marketing and e-commerce, D2C, where my experience is to do in-house, not with third party. Of course, you can leverage service like globally to distribute, to do the checkout wherever, in Asia or wherever. But the core of the front of the store must be well managed with service, with customized product and so on. Love this music, but means it's the end.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Ola. We are running out of time now.
I have 2 questions to him.
Okay, fast.
Is that okay? Yes,
Okay.
fast. Well,
Yes.
one, Ole kind of asked that 5 million mark and getting a brand at 5 million, putting in 5 million and taking control. So one question was about how are you going to balance the freedom the creative founder might need to keep expanding and creating versus controlling the team, the distribution, and it will come to a point where you're going to tell the brand owner, I need you to design this and this and this for this and this and this market, right? Because I've been there, done that, and that 5 million is exactly when, teams like you come in and try to tell us what to do. And if it works, great, I'll do what you're saying. To Ole's question, how are you going to make sure it's going to result in growth? So you responded to that, but if you want to expand a little bit on respecting that creative voice that makes you interested in the first place. And then I have a second quick question.
Okay, so first of all, I give you good news. I'm not interested in creative directors. I mean, they are relevant, but I'm not considering them the key person in the brand. Today, especially, I believe the most important part today is marketing, is to be consistent with the DNA of the brand, from the tone of voice to the consumer experience. And on the other side, I think the other important part is the merchandise plan in the collection, because the creativity brings you everywhere, but you lose the core, and that's where the business is. So I believe that's what is the aim of this activity, is to support the brands in doing the right things, and at the same time build the growth driver. The growth driver are very important to be international, to acquire more category or more market.
Okay, good answer. Love it. Protect the core and expand on it. Thank you so much. The second thing is, I want to help you find 22 million euros so you can go do this, because I think this is a white space in the investment community, because the groups you mentioned come in when the brands are dying after 30 years and they've lost hundreds of millions of dollars. And then little brands, you're going to hear a couple more, get stuck at 1 to 5 million. So when you're at 5, you're too big for a family office and you're too small for that brand. So if you can come in and be that power to take us from 5 to 20, 50 to 100, I think it's a great spot. And maybe even larger companies like LVMH or PPR or one of those firms, you could be a division inside of them, like a lifestyle incubator, basically brand incubator. I think they need you a lot. So I'll think of...
Kate, you are right. I think that there is an empty space here, especially in Europe. Apart L. Catterton, which is Louis Vuitton Group, which are doing some acquisition, which is a little bigger than the one that I am aiming. But there's no big competitor here. It's a new wave. In any case, I heard there is somebody else in UK that is aiming to do something like that, but they don't have the specific know-how. My team and what we are doing is that we know what we can buy, what we can do. We have our own limit for sure. We cannot aim to be large like Louis Vuitton. But on the other side, we have for this segment all the positive outcome in our hand. So I think that you're right. There is a lot of opportunity, a lot of smaller brands, which probably for several reasons, succession planning, financial situation, loss of inventory, or whatever they have done, they are a good opportunity. So that's what I mean.
Agreed. So the cover of WWD today is how traditional private equity and VC firms are getting replaced by brand management companies in fashion. I'll share with the group.
Yeah.
Cheers. Good. Thank
you.
Thank you so much, Kate. And congrats, Luca, on the pitch. Yes, we will now move to the third presenter, which is Smart Birdy, presented by Abby. So, Abby, whenever you're ready, you can share your screen and start the presentation. Abby? Yes. We can see the screen. Perfect.
All right. Okay, so hello, my name is Abby Listo. I'm the founder, owner, and designer of Smart Birdy. And here at Smart Birdy, we are redefining the way women travel. And we're doing that through our one-of-a-kind luggage design. Allow me to introduce Smart Birdy, smart and sophisticated luggage for women. Here at Smart Birdy, we are on a mission to bring back the sophistication in travel, revitalizing the jet set era. So a quick company overview. Smart Birdy is an established independent founder-led luggage brand built by myself, Abby Listo, funded predominantly by my own capital. Following a prior successful exit, the company has served as a 10-year-long test for future growth. With myself operating every department division, I've identified what works and what doesn't. That hands-on experience has already absorbed the risk a new investor would otherwise take on, giving me invaluable expertise and a competitive edge to scale Birdy to 10x up to 20 or up to 100. Birdy holds a distinct position in the market with significant white space reinforced by current momentum in the luggage industry. After years of demand-driven operations, Birdy is positioned to become the leading brand in designer luggage and smart travel. The company has built a proven, stable foundation with a 100,000-person database, millions in core product sales, specialized industry knowledge, and even trade secrets. Birdy is now ready for a capital infusion to drive its next phase of hyper growth. Okay, there we go. So the problem, all luggage looks the same. Women are completely underserved by today's market, yet are some of the most powerful consumers. There's a lack of luggage and travel brands that are built just for her. The solution, meet Birdy, the world's first contemporary travel brand designed just for her. Birdy exists to elevate the way women travel through the world. The same way women take pride in their handbags should be treated the same for her carry-on. There is a place for the Birkin of luggage, and that's Birdy. Our unique selling proposition. So, Birdy is a round suitcase, and it is dual stacking, and it is considered both a personal item and a roller suitcase, allowing airlines to allow you to board with two Birdies. So no other luggage in the industry has this level of versatility, but because of her unique round shape, she is considered both. So you can board with two, but yeah, going back to our design philosophy, our three pillars are style, function, and technology, which is the way we define smart here at Birdy. So we have all of those three elements into our design. With the luggage specifically, a portable charger, jewelry case, wristlet clutch, kind of all for women. And then there's also 20 built-in innovative features, things like shoe compartment, computer sleeve, etc. So we're smart, we're high fashion, and we're also super functional. So our business model. So Birdy has been operating mainly as a direct-to-consumer e-commerce business, selling off of smartbirdy.com since 2017. We are also in e-commerce B2B, so we are in Bloomingdale's online only though, for strategic reasons right now. That will change with the investment. Okay, some top-level metrics quickly. All right, we've got a 65% margin, $1,000 or average order value, 30% customer retention rate, and a 2% product return rate. So for our profit margins, we do expect those to increase over time with larger production orders, lowering cost of goods. Our $1,000 order value, that kind of comes from our collection, which we sell luggage and travel bags from $499 to $2,500, accessories from $20 to $110. 30% customer return rate, which in luggage is extremely good. And a lot of that is because one, our suitcases are stackable, so you can they're intended to buy more than one. We have all these travel accessories that can be added on. We have this brand new executive business travel tote. It looks the same as Birdy luggage, except no wheels and handle. So that's another add-on product. And the colors itself within Birdy, they're like little macaroons. They're collector's items. So we have a really strong returning rate, and that can definitely increase over time too as we scale. And then we have a very, very low product return rate, one of which is because we have a strict 7-day return policy, which works for us. We have excellent customer service. We definitely pride ourselves on that because it's super low-hanging fruit today. We have a sustainable trade-in program that anyone can trade in their Birdy for 50% credit on what they paid for it. So there still is a transaction being done when they trade it in, and then we collect it, refurbish it, and resell it at our annual sale. And this allows, people to also upgrade their styles. It's a really, really great program for us. And then lastly, we keep it simple. We over deliver on product, not pictures. And that's how we keep our return rate so low. Moving on, market opportunity. I'll go through this one quickly because the next slide is much more important. The TAM, SAM, and SOM. So the TAM is 160 billion for our global luggage and travel goods market. The SAM is going to be 45 billion in the women's luggage and travel bags, and the SOM is 7 billion for women's contemporary luggage and travel bags. All right, so here's where the exciting stuff comes. Number one, I want to point out the white space in the entire premium luggage marketplace. It is still one of the last great uncontested white space in the entire industry. That goes for men and women. But there still is no established contemporary travel brand for women until Smart Birdy. All right, so recent investments in revenues from current and newer luggage brands that have come to the market in the past 10 years. Away in Bays, doing massive $100-200 million revenues. Away raising over 200 in VC. Monos is another one not to forget about. They raised close to 50 million in VC and doing with the 150 million valuation. There's more on here, but I also do kind of want to point out DB Journey, which is a European brand, recently has invested, get an equity invested by LVMH and Vogue. So it kind of just shows you that premium is a place to invest and be aligned with. On the other side, we're looking at acquisitions and closures. So Tumi and Rimowa are going to be our biggest highlights here. One, because those would be the closest thing to our competitors. They're still not direct, but I want to point out that by Tumi was acquired for 2 billion by Samsonite back in around 2016. At the time had around a 17x return, which is close to tech returns. So that was a really big deal. Rimowa was also acquired close to $1 billion. From LVMH. So there's some more brands on here that have just shown strong marketplace activity, but I also want to go to the last pillar, which is luggage and heritage brands, just reminding that some of today's largest luxury brands, Louis Vuitton, Prada, Gucci, all started as trunk luggage. All right, so competition. As you can see here, Smart Birdy is up on in her own corner. Female focused, heritage, smart, trendy. It's kind of got it all, but we do have some competitors down here in the heritage side. There is a lot of new brands coming on the trend side. And then Steamline here up at the top to the left, that is the only other women's luggage brand that currently is in the marketplace in the premium style, and they're still not quite like Birdy. They're a bit more like classic. They don't have any modern amenities. All right, milestones and traction. So we've been in business for 10 years. So we have hit every single milestone along the way. They're on the slide you can kind of see from, but I'll start just quickly with the revenue. So when I launched Smart Birdy back in 2017, at the very beginning, we started running Facebook ads, and before that, about a year, we were building an email list. So we launched, and within 2 years, hit $1 million in revenue. During that time, too, in the first year, we did close to a $50,000 Kickstarter. And then, so a few years starting off amazing, strong, and then boom, COVID hits. The world has been shut down globally for travel. So at that time, we really doubled down on our digital, and that's when we got on to Shopify, Klaviyo, really stepped our digital marketing game up. And by 2021, we were already back to pre-revenue times. And since 2021 till now, we're growing about 20% growth. All right, so growth strategy. So this investment is what we're considering a growth capital investment. So it's really simple. We are going to invest in all of our departments and have a team and managers and leaders running those departments with expertise and department budgets. So it's pretty simple on how we're going to break down the investment. It's a $5 million growth capital investment. That's the ask. Equity is being determined once I finish my data room, which will be just in a few weeks. But basically, we're doing about $1 million to inventory and working capital. We about $2 million into all department budgets, and then about $2 million into team and salaries. All right, so here's our financials. I'll just more get into the forecast because this is really more the business plan. Everything is all about future facing. So assuming we get the cash inflection this year, we're looking at doing about $2.5 million in revenue in 2027 and taking that to 4 million. These first 2 years are going to be vital. It's all about hiring the team, training them, getting them rocking and rolling. And then years 3 and 4 are really going to be our scale years. And we're showing profitability at scale and EBITDA in after 2 years. And I've got financial to back all of this up. So quickly, lastly, is me, the founder, Abby Listo. I started my career in brand marketing for Fortune 500 companies. So Unilever, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble. I then took that experience and actually kind of stumbled into the tech world. I got to be one of the first 100 employees at Uber. And at the time, they were only doing digital marketing. So I introduced them what experiential marketing is. I launched the entire events department. Globally, I got to fly around to all these different cities and train, and it basically teach them how to scale customer user acquisition. And after that, I continued to work at VC-backed lifestyle startups. And then I founded the company in Smart Birdy in 2016. Some recent highlights with that is I last year was appointed to be an American Express Business Ambassador. We've been banking with Chase Bank for almost 10 years, and we also just got recognized as one of their favorite small businesses. And Smart Birdy has also been selected to join JP Morgan's Consumer Startup Division. And what that means is they work with emerging brands and kind of help them and support them through the raise anywhere from Series A to all the way to exit. So they're very selective on who they choose, but Smart Birdy has been selected. So they are going to be, a huge resource once we greenlight the fundraising campaign here in next month. So that is my company, Smart Birdy.
Thank you so much, Abby, for the pitch.
Thanks.
Let's move to the Q&A section. Ola, would you like to start?
Absolutely. Abby, very interesting. I love the idea of focusing on a niche product, or a niche not so much, but just on women's. And you're right, I also can't think of anything along the same similar lines. So congrats on that one. I think a good sense there. I have a few follow-up questions to fully understand a bit more your current structure and also how you're set up. So is it just you at the moment? Are you a one-man show? And I'm going to shoot my questions. So is it just you, or how big is your team now? How are you doing all of that? How is your revenue? You said 5 million. Is that all time, or is that, sorry, my baby is crying in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear it. Is that all time, or is that basically per year? Have you already reached the 5 million per year? And what are your main cost drivers actually in the business? So that would be
Let's start with the first question again. Can you repeat it?
My first question is, how is the team looking like?
Yes. So I built this company off of consultants and agencies. So, that's what it looks like today. But, moving forward with the cash investment, none of that really will be a part. We're going to hire, in-house, and I'm going to start with my heads of departments. So probably bringing on like a COO, director of e-commerce, head of brand marketing, and get them in. And then from there, I've got certain specific roles that are within our financials and what they're going to do. And then we'll kind of layer the hires on as we go. So it's strategic and not all overnight, but I'm absolutely looking at bringing my top 3 supporters and the people. And the cool thing is, what Smart Birdy, I'm going to be offering stock option packages. This is very typical in the tech world, not in the consumer world, and not in the luxury world. So that is one of the competitive advantages that we are going to have in terms of hiring and acquiring top level talent. And I know for sure, like big brands like Bays, they're not offering equity and any of that for the people who've built the company from ground up. So that's a huge thing. And I know that because some of their team has come work for mine. So that's that. In terms of revenue, I will say we do keep all of this as a public pitch. So I'm happy to connect one-on-one, but like our most we've ever done is close to $1 million. So I'll kind of leave it there. And then what was the third one that you had?
What are your main cost drivers in the entire business, apart from personnel? I understand now you want to invest mainly in that, but how is it looking now? How much of a chunk are the agencies taking, or is production the biggest one? How does it look like?
Yeah, so definitely in the early years before I kind of like learned what like line of credits were and everything, it was absolutely our cost of goods because they're about six-figure production orders and they're all due over 4 months. So it's like, 30K, 40K, they're big chunks. The great news about Smart Birdy, and because of our demand and we're e-commerce, we are able to sell pre-orders. So pretty much every single production we've sold it through at least a fourth. And it's actually a win-win because we're also able to offer, especially the longer they have to wait, a little bit more of a price, like, a little bit of a discount, like $100 or $200 off. So they're happy to wait. And then also it kind of helps offset some of, right? So we're not in that traditional way, but I will say a lot of the growth capital we are going to absolutely invest in and figure out like really how we're going to scale the wholesale side. The reason I haven't is because the margins on wholesale are really not that great, but that's because our cost of good is pretty high right now. And I know that we can bring that down over time. Like, for example, I nearly doubled our order one year and we got our cost, we got $60 per luggage off. So I'm just like, if we, are doing like 5,000 unit orders, like it's like, and that's when wholesale will really make a lot more sense financially because the margins are there to support it. And that's also how you build a real brand name. You start really seeing it because we've established ourselves online, but I've also learned through all these years of running Smart Birdy and also seeing what all of these bigger brands in fashion are doing, the pop-ups, they're in the stores, like they have a huge wholesale presence and that way they're able to be in the vision and in the place where the customers are. So wholesale is a huge opportunity, but at the same time, direct to consumer, of course, has the best margins. So we're just going to be scaling that department, but also launching real wholesale too. So hope that answers everything.
Yes, it does. Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shelley. Shell, would you like to go next?
Sure. Congratulations on your business. I've actually seen you pitch before in another panel. I'm not sure if it was on this platform or another, but love the brand and really, really love your energy and enthusiasm. It's really refreshing. Congratulations. Couple things. As far as what's your percentage retail and wholesale right now? Sorry if you had that on a slide. I missed that.
I did not. Great question. It's about 95% D2C, or
Okay.
like smartbirdy.com. And then Bloomingdale's is just, around 5%. It's pretty small. But we just do drop shipping with them. We have the opportunity to go in stores. We've had that conversation. I just know what that takes. It's a whole different supply chain. It's honestly just like, it's just too much for me to take on. We have a great relationship with them now. And for me, it's just like, also getting in stores is a little complicated because Smart Birdy it's not your traditional luggage. So normally in Bloomingdale's, they're going to put you in the home store with all the traditional luggage, but Smart Birdy is carry-on and they have this new area for like carry-on travel within the women's department. And that's where Smart Birdy needs to be, but that's a whole different buying team. So I just need someone who really knows wholesale because I will say when you are talking a big box, like you need to know your stuff. And I'm a little naive there. And that's why we're going to hire someone who knows the game and knows how to ask and how to be strategic on the ask and what we should be doing in Bloomingdale's versus maybe a Saks versus a Neiman's versus a Harrods, whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say that the carry-on business, it'd be interesting. I haven't researched mapping where that carry-on business is really growing globally. In the US, if you have a credit card, normally you're still able to do a big checked bag volume, whereas Europe, with the low cost really booming, I think there's probably be interesting to take a look at that carry-on business, and that might be the opportunity as far as wholesale goes, because that carry-on business is really tied to, these are essentially boxes where you're creating your stuff around. So it really comes down to consumer. Okay, how much can I stuff in and how much I get on each ticket, and look at what markets are really the opportunity there. Is it a Ryanair customer or is it a Delta customer? You know, who's really your customer, and then try and go in where they're going. On the wholesale piece, I'd say that Bloomingdale's, in my experience of 25 years, has always been my biggest headache brand. Ton of time investment to sell to them, very low volume, often don't pay on time. So definitely expand your conversations via a really good wholesale manager on where that opportunity is, luggage is, between Europe, US, Asia. And I think this is also interesting. I think on the wholesale side, it's such a small piece. I think that the in airport wholesalers, so the duty free, could be a really interesting conversation to have, just because it's a small enough piece that I think that they would actually merchandise it and carry stock in airports, and you could probably get a lot of exposure there. Great advertising also, just to be in every single airport. So that's a customer I would definitely have a conversation with in the near term. As far as the raise goes, 5 million, if your turnover is about 1 million, I'd come in saying that seems pretty ASCII for, you know, depending what your margins are there. It may be a quicker opportunity if you're looking for Q4 inventory money right now to go for a smaller raise and then look for a 5 million. Yeah. And then again, the allocation of funds, you know, 1 million for inventory. Okay. Again, I don't know that I would raise for inventory. I think that there's other financial vehicles that are cheaper for inventory than doing investor raise, like factoring or LOCs. As far as the 2 million across department, I would like to see that out in a business plan. I think in your pitch to see exactly what you want to share. So, you know, definitely share out what that's going to go to, and then 2 million team. I definitely think the wholesale piece is the team. In what I'm seeing in a lot of D2C right now, just with AI, is a lot of people are cutting their team. And so I'd look at where you can really maximize that 2 million if you're going to put it into people, and what should go into technology and what should go into people. Those would be my comments, but good luck to you.
Yep.
Did I cut off? Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, we're
Okay,
running
yeah.
a little bit over time, so if maybe we can just have like one short feedback from George, and then we have to move to the next presenter. And Kate and Abby can connect after the call.
I have
That's
no
okay.
feedback.
Yeah.
All good.
Yeah, you don't
Okay.
have questions?
I'll
No.
take it.
Good luck.
Okay, well,
I love the
Yeah.
product. It's very cool. I think that Europe could be a good market for you to have a look at, and also look at marketplaces outside
Great.
Bloomingdale's, as Shelley already said. And I think you can just broaden your horizon, because you have a good product.
Spread our wings.
Yeah, you have a good story, you know, digital marketing. So just go for it.
Sounds good. Thank you so much.
okay. Well, thank you so much, Abby, for the pitch and for the feedback from the advisors. We will now move to the fourth presenter, which is Bliss Wellness, presented by Lindsay. So Lindsay, whenever you're ready, you can share your screen and start the presentation.
Hi. All right. Give me a moment here. Okay. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes?
Okay. Oh, let's get going. I'm excited now. What if simply getting dressed in the morning could elevate your mind, body, and spirit? Hi, I'm Lindsay Bless, a fashion designer, wellness professional, and the founder of Bliss Bles Holistic Apparel. Bliss being the state of mind, and bless me, your guide. The wellness market is booming, yet there is no mainstream brand with crystal-infused apparel. until now. Enter Bliss and Bless, where fashion meets wellness in perfect harmony by embedding healing crystals into clothing. Bliss and Bliss is not just athleisure, it's a movement. We are pioneering the first crystal-infused activewear brand that seamlessly integrates wellness into women's daily lives. In a world where 60% of women struggle to prioritize their well-being, we make self-care as effortless as getting dressed. In today's fast-paced world, wellness is the ultimate luxury. Women are exercising more than ever. Daily participation rose from 20% in 2023, but mental health challenges have also increased. In 2022, 26% of women in the US experienced mental illness. This resonates with me personally, as my mother has struggled with mental health most of her life. She finally found relief with some of my crystal-infused apparel after trying many other alternative therapies. Last year, America spent $1.8 trillion on wellness products and services. They spent $87 billion on mental wellness, $338 billion on physical care, and $310 billion on personal care and beauty. The global athleisure market is 393.7 and going to double by the year of 2029. The US e-commerce athleisure market is estimated to be worth 154 and is also going to double by 2033 at a CAGR of 9.1.
I'm sorry.
So I'm in a niche.
I think
Can you hear me okay?
yeah, I hear you, but we're still on the page 1. Is that supposed to be like that?
You don't see the other pages? Oh,
No.
no, you should be on page 3. Do you see it? Hold on. I don't know. Let me try again. Do you see my computer screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now we are on the athleisure apparel market. Page 3. We're on page 3.
Yeah, we're supposed to be on page 3. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll just
Good.
pull it up again. And I'll show you the other ones real quick before we go forward. Full screen. Make sure you can see that. Okay. So yeah, there's that. And we're back here. And I'll send you guys an updated version of this when we're done, because I think the one I sent Matilda is a little outdated. So our innovative approach addresses this dual-faceted issue by integrating healing crystals into women's yoga wear and exercise apparel. This fusion aims to provide not only physical comfort and style, but also to promote emotional and spiritual well-being. So by wearing our crystal-infused active wear, the women can experience the combined benefits of physical activity and the therapeutic properties associated with crystal healing, fostering a more holistic approach to health and self-care. And we're making it as easy as retail therapy. The healing really starts right at checkout. We usually use angel numbers for purchase prices, and they get like a little message that kind of tells them what that angel number is when they're done. Our dual-faceted approach to our wellness plan is easy to maintain, as we are launching a subscription box program where they'll get like additional materials like mantras, meditation prompts, journal prompts, and the style makes self-prioritizing as simple as getting dressed every morning. So more women are wearing athletic wear when they're lounging, when they're going shopping, or when they're just working around the house. Our subscription box model explores auras, chakras, and holistic practices, blending spiritual wellness with retail. Through a proprietary styling system, we offer high-ticket single purchase options and unique experiential sales that are enhanced by collaborations with local and social media influencers. Women have access to an online community as well, where they can meet up with other women who are sharing.
Sorry, I think we're still on page 3. We're still on page 3.
Oh man.
Yeah, did you? I don't know. Like, are you forwarding the pages?
No, I don't know why it's doing that.
It's not on full screen either. Could that be the issue?
That is strange.
Try to.
You know.
If you press present, what happens?
I did. Yeah. Does that not show when I press it? I am in Vietnam right now. I don't know if it maybe is some of the internet connections and the restrictions that they have. I'm not sure. But maybe if you just see, do you just see my computer screen? Do you see the background? Do you see this?
Yes. we do.
So maybe I'll just scroll. Can you see when I switch a page here?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we'll just go this way. So, this is where we are. And I'm talking about the subscription boxes. So we do a 7-month educational subscription. It's like through the oral layers or through the chakras. So the US subscription box market is projected to reach 65 billion by 2027. And it's also highlighting a major opportunity in direct-to-consumer and subscription-based models. WGSN has 2027's leading trend is Aura. WGSN is a huge marketing firm that we use in fashion and a lot of different social media marketing companies. We're going to go to the next slide. Here's a little bit more. So Fox selected me to be a part of David Spade's show Snake Oil, a spinoff of Shark Tank in the fall of 2023. They featured my children's crystal-infused t-shirts, and from this small 20-second plug, we raised about $1.8 thousand in sales, and several customers kept returning. It's a very culty product that we found. We're still in talks with Fox to be featured on the local list, and there's this company called the Better Business of San Diego, where I'm originally from or live. Our market entry strategy is simple. We host quarterly fashion shows for our customers, who then promote on social media, creating organic followers and purchases. I actually currently partner with yoga studios. We're going to do larger wellness events and festivals where patrons can purchase and be retargeted to buy into our subscription boxes. I also target them for my wellness studios that are growing. I participated in Fashion Week San Diego in the fall of 2022. Shortly after, my couture crystal apparel was featured on the cover of 3 fashion magazines, as they like the healing crystal element of my clothing and the designs. I found and managed a wellness boutique in the shores of La Jolla, California. I have a significant local following for my products. Just with the products not being sold, we made pretty good sales for a small boutique in that area. We're currently a featured designer in Los Angeles Fashion Week District Commercial. We're featured our Chakra Healing collection in LA. I think it was like the October before. I've had just a really nervous response in the US. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. Just I've been doing this for a long time. And as the wellness industry continues to merge with fashion, I am poised to scale Bliss Bles into a global movement, offering investors a unique opportunity to be at the forefront of a rapidly expanding market. With just our pre-seed funding alone, we anticipate making 1.4 million in sales the first year. Our main focus is on profitability and retention. A few metrics that will follow are just keeping our conversion rates high, funnel efficiency, getting the right ROAS, and mainly like keeping profits high. I want to keep our customer acquisition costs, I think like most, around $100. So the current crystal-infused apparel market is small and fragmented. They are hippie brands that lack the sophistication and scalability to appeal to a larger audience. With our market intersecting wellness and athleisure, we won't be going head-to-head with major athleisure giants, but carving out our own niche, much like Tommy Copper did with his infused apparel. So instead, we'll rival them with quality, innovation, and sustainability. So I'm looking at 50,000 seed funding in total, but right now I'm only raising about 150. Half is going to go to marketing. I already have 30,000. I should have about 70, hopefully by the end of this next month. And most of it's just going to go to the lean startup of my product, which is the citrine athletic set, just this product, and then growing it from there. And so basically, Bliss Bles isn't just another activewear brand. We're building a wellness revolution in fashion with an early foothold. In a booming market, the right investors have an opportunity to be a part of something truly transformative. Are you ready to help shape the future of self-care? Let's talk.
Thank you so much, Lindsay, for the pitch. Let's start the Q&A with Kate. Kate?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes.
Hi, Lindsay. I feel like our paths have crisscrossed before. It seems so familiar. So did you show, I just want to have an understanding of the timeline. When did you start the company?
This company, I've been doing the crystal apparel since 2014. So I started pitching though over the last few years as I was ready to enter into a larger market versus testing the market. I'm an artist, so I have like a few wellness practices and gotten lots of coverage, on my work over the years. But I've probably pitched to you before on one of these events.
Mhm.
Does that answer your question?
Is she breaking up for you guys also?
Huh?
It's like I can't hear anything. Hello?
I think
Hear me?
Kate's screen is frozen. Kate, can you still hear us? No. Okay, let's go back. Let's ask Shell, and then we'll go back to Kate later. Shell, would you like to give your feedback?
Sure. I like the concept and that you've been in this crystal space for a while. I definitely think that there's an opportunity to do something more interesting. I think athleisure, you have the big brands, you have so many small brands, you have so many factory brands that it's become an incredibly fragmented, busy space. So I think any way that you can differentiate and make yourself something new and really stick to your wellness angle can help you carve out a space for yourself here. I think the key hurdle you have is because it is such a busy space is where you're going to get traction. I think you need to focus. It sounds like you've been kind of dabbling in this since 2014. I think you really need to focus in on, okay, what's my collection? What is my product mix? And who is my key customer? And what channel am I going to go after? Versus dabbling a little here, a little there. Because I think you really have to focus on scaling, one collection, one category, one market, and so that you can start to get that traction, at which point in time it's going to be a lot easier for you to start on getting that feedback where you can say, okay, this is my brand, this is the exact product mix where I'm getting the margins and the volume, and I'm going to run in this lane. And these are going to be my, my core, A to C, let's say, on how I'm going to get scaling and how I'm going to get investors interested in me. I think you're so small right now that you're going to have to do a lot more experimentation to kind of see where you can get traction and where you can get that customer outside of just direct to consumer. But I really like the category, and I would really look at not trying to be everything to everyone, but being that wellness brand and really staying in this niche of crystals and what else you can do there outside of apparel, and so that you can kind of do a head to toe wellness brand focused on crystals and focus on that customer that might be interested in there. As far as raising, again, if it's really inventory that you need, I think there's a lot of vehicles being an American company outside of getting investors. Investors probably going to take you outside of friends and family a lot of time to get that traction. And I think you really have to focus on getting 0 to 60 on your speed because you're just kind of tinkering along since 2014. And I think that this space in the wellness space with infrared and crystals and tourmaline and everything else going on, I think it's a category that that you're not going to have a lot of competition maybe in the high end athleisure brands, but you're definitely going to get a lot of competition out of your Asian factories. And so it's something that you really need to get to market first and make sure that you're on the space. Other than that, I wish you best of luck.
Thank you, Shell, for feedback. George, would you like to go next?
Yes. So because you do so many things, as also Shell said, if there's only one thing you could choose from all the things you're doing, what would it be?
Oh, so you guys didn't get to the presentation, so that's why I put it on this particular item. Sorry, I didn't really see it. I'm just doing this athletic wear. I've been
Okay.
doing everything because I've worked in production, I've worked in rock and roll, like I have a different I've had a fun life path in my art with crystal apparel, and now it's monetizing, and so I have a lot of proper mentors, and everyone is got, I mean, I'm comfortable with where I'm at. I'm really networking in this pitch, looking for more relationships, and advice is helpful, but I'm pretty confident where I'm going.
Okay.
So I mean that's it. And then I'm doing this Aura boxes. So and the Aura, and it's fun. It's really catchy. I actually wrote a whole thesis on this stuff, and I study spiritual stuff for 16 years. So I kind of feel like I'm ready to present it to the world because it's kind of a very fun, culty product. But I mean, I worked in modeling and fashion, and then I also did the wellness stuff, and I finally felt like after 15 years, I can be out woo-wooed as an artist, if that makes
Okay.
sense. So
Yes.
yeah, so
So
that's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah, and I'm
what
excited.
cool. What is your biggest struggle then? Because is it like getting the right inventory or the distribution or the
It's actually why
networking?
I'm in Vietnam right now. I'm in Vietnam because I've been I have assistants and I have an office here that we're opening, and then because I have other business aspects that I work on, but this particular product I've been trying to launch, and it needed to be implemented properly. So I do have the right manufacturers now, and I have
Okay.
everything kind of in line. It's really cost effective. So I'm just seeing if anyone wants to jump in with me, you know.
You are in the right spot then in Vietnam when it goes to seamless manufacturing. So all the best of luck.
Thanks.
Thank you, George. Ola, would you like to give your feedback?
Yes, absolutely. Hello, Lindsay. Thank you for introducing your little project here. I have to admit, I'm not very familiar with that space, so it was very interesting for me to listen to you and also to learn a bit about the product possibilities there. What idea I maybe have, since sometimes spaces are very they run themselves, right? They are in a certain let's call it bubble, and there are certain thought leaders that have established themselves, that have a big reach, and whose opinion also weigh and matter a lot. So maybe as an idea, I'm not sure, depending how important the real brand is for you, could be a shortcut to growth, could be to partner with these thought leaders. I mean, I see you already have some influencers there. What partner? I'm actually talking about a white label solution that they are selling. I'm talking about your product, but it's their label on it, since in case they haven't figured that out. Just a much more, like that you are the brain behind it and you supply the product because you have figured all this out. And usually the thought leaders have their reach, a bit of the old reach for equity type of situation, that could be something to potentially shortcut you to a very large audience.
I appreciate that thought of yours. I did work a little too hard to just give someone their name on my work. It's just not gonna happen. It's just not. It took a lot of work and a lot of development to build this and to put it in a way that people can actually understand and make it believable when you have all these other people coming in. That's the thing about the wellness community too, is they tend to kind of do that, and I don't like it. So I try to stay a little out there. I am the first to market. I chose the athleisure mainly because I've done the smallest size, like the t-shirts on the television show, to high fashion, just so that there's dominating the market, and then having a cohesive brand that is related to women's wellness, and doing this stuff hands-on on top of it is just kind of it's the right person behind the brand. But I do endorse people, mainly the yoga community. It's another way for them to make money right away. And those people don't make a lot of money, and a lot of people that would actually benefit would just sell the product and still be themselves. That's how I see it.
I fully respect the ethics behind it, and I completely understand that, being a founder and having built brands myself. I completely understand, but still, it could be a Kickstarter. So, for example, I own a fulfillment company that basically fulfills the biggest yoga influencer in Germany. And that I know she does campaigns for products which she does not develop. So she is basically giving her reach to a certain product she likes and she identifies with, and she is a very pleasant person, and she really stands for what she sells also. And I know for the producers of these products, it's a crazy kickstart because she has millions and millions of followers who buy it. So I'm just saying, potentially don't give it all away, but potentially do it project based if that's something, because that could save you maybe the terms of a financing round and have
Yeah,
you
that sounds
basically bootstrap
wonderful.
it.
I'd love to like connect there somehow with you and maybe meet her. That would be cool.
Sure, I'll put my LinkedIn in the chat here. Thanks. That's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Ole. Actually, I will share the contact details after the call to everyone, so you can connect afterwards. So I think Kate must have some technical issues. She's not on the call anymore, but I'll make sure
Yes.
to
No, I'm
introduce
here.
you. Oh, you're here, Kate. Ah,
Yeah, sorry, I
okay.
had to switch
Okay,
devices. I had a couple questions, yeah, but I think Shelley kind of pointed out the same things about, the time frame and being around for 12 years and kind of picking a lane to grow in and see what could get the company going with such a cool concept. Lindsay, I know you've been at it for a while. And I think when, somebody gives you a little shot on TV and your t-shirt becomes like this viral moment and you sell $2,000 in a few seconds, these are your signals that you might want to think of like a hero product and not do full collections around it, because clearly that hasn't worked. I feel like if something didn't work in 10 years, it's not going to work the next 10 years. But I feel like you have sparks of success and you have such a nice personality and you're so pleasant, like relaxing to even listen to. Like, I feel calmer when you talk. I feel like there's power in there that, to Ole's point, if you translate it with the right brand ambassador who gives you the platform and that extension of your beliefs, but can actually sell product, that will help you. It doesn't have to be a collection. You can do one outfit with her, do a little capsule and see how it goes. So I agree with Oli and Shelley on the comments. Thank you. That's what I
Thank you
would
so
do if I
much,
were
Kate.
you.
Thank you for the feedback. Okay, yes.
Yeah, brilliant. Thanks,
Okay,
guys.
so this was the final pitch of the evening. So I want to thank you all for joining and for pitching. And I will be sharing the contact details to everyone soon. And yeah, I hope to see you at some next event again. So good job, everyone, and let's keep in touch. And wish you all a good evening or good day. So thank you so much. Thanks.
All right, great, guys.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. All
Bye-bye.
right, enjoy.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye bye.